So the cuts continue. A preschool for children with disabilities in Lewiston is the latest program in the state to be impacted by Medicaid cuts that were included in President Trump's big, beautiful bill. The CEO of Andwell Therapy, an early learning preschool, says he and his board had to make some early decisions as they brace for the impact of MaineCare cuts. But as News Center Maine's Raya Wooten reports, Maine families say their children with special needs will suffer the biggest losses in the end.
Now you're cutting away funding for our children. It's not about us adults, it's about children, innocent children.
Shelby Thompson says her 6-year-old son with disabilities is one of 12 kids who is now losing out. The preschool that provides her son's physical, occupational, and speech therapies, as well as his in-class instructed learning, closed its doors Thursday. Thompson says her son just got approved to reattend Andwell Therapy and Early Learning Services preschool earlier this summer.
We fought to get him in the summer program. We get him in, and I get a call after like 2 weeks of him being there saying, oh, his last day is on July 31st, we're closing doors. And I was like, excuse me? You told me he was gonna go to the, mid-August. He was gonna have this time to prepare himself for school.
Andwell relies on a combination of private pay, child development, and MaineCare funding to fund the preschool. But after Congress recently passed the House Resolution 1, better known as President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill that makes more than $900 billion in cuts to Medicaid, Andwell leaders expect to take some major losses. Those losses trickle down to little Cole, leaving him without the guided classroom instruction he needs.
It's not even a want. This is a necessity. So now my child, let alone other children, are without. How is this fair? How is this right?
Andwell CEO Ken Albert says the organization will still offer PT, OT, and speech therapy at another location, but not the preschool. Albert says for years, MaineCare funding has failed to keep pace with the cost of services Andwell provides.
The writing's on the wall. You overlay that with over $1 trillion of Medicaid cuts coming out of H.R. 1.
Congress could have cut elsewhere.
In Lewiston, Raya Wooten, News Center, Maine.
Andwell CEO Ken Albert says he believes government-funded systems need reform, but he does not agree with Congress making $900 billion or more in Medicaid cuts without what he thinks would have been a thoughtful strategy on how the cuts would affect people.